They always say vampires come at night, but mine came in the middle of the day. Sun out, sky clear, grief fresh. The roof of the old library had been my escape for years, but that day it felt more like a hiding place. I wasn't dressed for mourning, just a sweatshirt and old sneakers, hair tied up, eyes dry. I hadn't cried yet. Everyone expected me to, but I didn't feel like doing what was expected anymore. He was already there when I climbed up, standing near the edge like he didn't care if the world tilted. You ever meet someone who feels like silence before a storm? He looked like that. Still, pale, alive in a way that didn't move.
You always climb rooftops to grieve strangers?
I didn't jump at the sound. I don't know why. I just turned my head and found him watching me with a face that didn't belong to someone who laughed much. I didn't know it was reserved seating. That made the corner of his mouth twitch. Like it wanted to smile but had forgotten how. He didn't ask me why I was there. I didn't ask him either. Maybe we both liked pretending that strangers made better company than the ones waiting below with forced hugs and dry sandwiches. We didn't exchange names. He stayed on his side of the roof. I stayed on mine. But the air between us felt shared, and somehow that mattered. I came back the next day. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe I just didn't want to be anywhere else. But when I climbed back up, he was already there again, like he hadn't moved.
You follow ghosts too?
He didn't look up from the book in his lap, but I could feel the smile behind his voice. I don't believe in ghosts. That made him glance at me for the first time properly. His eyes were dark, but not in a flat way. There was depth there. Sadness, maybe. Or memory.
You should. Sometimes they believe in you.
The sentences stuck to the insides of my ribs. Things I never heard from anyone else. Still no names, still no stories. But the quiet felt warmer that time. Less like absence, more like understanding. On the third day, I brought coffee. 2 cups, just in case. He didn't touch his, but he looked at it for a long time, like it reminded him of something, or someone.
Cassian.
It took me a second to realize it was his name. I told him mine. After that, it was harder to stay strangers. But we still didn't ask each other real questions. Somehow, it felt safer that way. It was the first time he didn't meet me on the roof. I waited an hour, chewing the inside of my cheek like it owed me something. Just when I was about to leave, I heard humming, software, familiar, coming from the courtyard below. He was there, sitting on the edge of the old stone fountain with his back to me. The book was gone. The silence felt heavier. You left the roof.
Maybe I wanted to see if you'd follow.
The air was cold but dry. Everything about him felt contained, like if I asked the wrong question, he'd disappear.
You believe in curses?
Depends on who's cursed, and why. He looked down at his hands like they weren't his. Like they used to hold something they never should have touched.
What if the curse isn't punishment? What if it's just the price of wanting something too much?
I didn't answer right away. I was too busy trying not to drown in the ache in his voice. That still sounds like punishment. His silence said I wasn't wrong. The first time I saw him bleed, it didn't feel real. It was late. Too late to be wandering, but I couldn't sleep again. I passed the library without meaning to stop until I saw the light inside. The door was cracked. The hall smelled like dust and rain, and then I saw him, standing in the middle of the reading room beneath a shattered skylight. His arm was cut open from elbow to wrist. The blood was too dark, too still. There was no panic, no pain in his face. Does it hurt?
No.
That's the problem. You're not human?
I was, a long time ago.
It wasn't the answer that chilled me. It was the way he said it, like he missed it, like being human was something you could forget, then regret. He told me that night without telling me everything, just enough. That vampires aren't born. They're broken. That time erases you until you don't even remember who you used to be. Only what you've done. And the worst part? He didn't seem afraid of what he was. He seemed tired. I don't know who kissed who first. I just remember the silence between us thinning, like the air couldn't stand not touching anymore. We were back on the roof. He stood too close, but I didn't move away. I didn't want to.
Are you scared of me?
I could have lied. But lies are louder when you love someone. Yes. His head dipped, and I thought he was going to leave. Instead, his lips brushed mine like an apology, like he was scared of breaking me. Or maybe he knew he already would. My best friend noticed before I did.
You've changed? You're quieter. Your skin's paler? You flinch when I open the curtains.
I laughed it off, said I was just tired. But I knew better. I knew what was happening, even if I didn't have the language for it yet.
You met someone, didn't you?
I didn't answer. She stared at me for a long time before whispering.
Don't fall for someone who makes you hide.
That night, I didn't go to the roof. I stayed in bed, eyes open, heart loud. But by midnight, I was outside, and he was waiting, like he always was.
I need to show you something.
He didn't wait for a response. He led me deep into the woods behind the library. The moon was high, cold, watching. There was a stone arch covered in moss and ivy, half collapsed like something sacred had fallen there once. He stopped beneath it, turned to face me.
I can't keep pretending I'm harmless.
I didn't speak. His eyes shimmered, not with light, but with something darker, sadder. Then he leaned forward not to kiss me, but to rest his forehead against mine.
If I do this, there's no going back.
I didn't stop him. I should have, but I didn't. His fangs barely grazed my skin, and still, I felt like fire had bloomed in my throat. I was sick for days. My body burned, my head spun. Every heartbeat sounded like a countdown. I didn't leave my room, didn't answer my phone, couldn't eat, couldn't dream. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw it. My eyes were wrong, brighter, sharper, and when I stood in the sunlight, my skin itched like it was remembering something it shouldn't. When he came to see me, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just whispered, "What did you do to me?" And he looked more afraid than I'd ever seen him.
I thought I could control.
We were in the bell tower now, farther from the world than we'd ever been, and still it didn't feel far enough. You weren't supposed to change, not like this. I asked him how many others there were. He hesitated, then told me about a girl. Long ago, he loved her, tried to save her, tried to feed without turning her, failed.
She begged me to finish it.
Did you?
Yes.
I stood at the edge of the rooftop again, the same spot where we met, and I realized I wasn't the same girl anymore. I couldn't unknow what I knew. Couldn't unfeel the hunger now curling under my ribs. He joined me.
There's still time. You can fight it.
Do you?
No, I just live with it.
Then teach me. I knew it the moment I tasted blood. It wasn't his. It wasn't intentional. A paper cut, a nosebleed. It didn't matter. The scent hit me like a match across dry bone. My body responded before my brain could catch up. I wanted it. No, I needed it. and that terrified me. He found me crouched in the bathroom of an abandoned church, hands shaking, lips red. I thought he'd be angry. Or disappointed.
It's starting. It's always like this.
I don't want to be a monster!
Then don't be.
But we both knew it wasn't that simple. I found the box buried beneath the floorboards of the tower. Photos, drawings, letters, all in the same hand, soft loops, ink faded by time. Every page whispered a name I didn't recognize. Except I did. Because I'd heard it in a dream. Because he'd whispered it once in his sleep. Her name was Elara. She looked like me, and suddenly everything made sense. He didn't love me. He loved the shadow I cast. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. She was the first, and I'm the copy.
No, you're the second chance.
But I didn't want to be a second anything. I set the chapel on fire, not to hurt him, but to burn the memory of her out of both of us. He arrived too late. The roof had already begun to fall, stained glass crackling like ice in the heat. I stood in the center, flames curling around my feet, skin blistering. He screamed my name, begged me to run. You let me burn the first time.
Don't make me watch again.
He rushed in, arms around me, pulling me through smoke and ruin. And for a second, I believed he might actually save me. I woke up cold, not dead, not human, something in between. He sat at the edge of the bed, eyes red with something worse than bloodlust.
I turned you to save you.
I stared at my hands, pale, smooth, wrong. No, you turned me because you couldn't let me go. He didn't answer. Because we both knew the truth. Love didn't save me. It claimed me. And now I belonged to a world that felt more like a grave than a promise. But here's the thing about burning. Once you've done it, you stop being afraid of the flame. So I left him, before I could become like him. And every night since, I walk beneath the stars with skin that never warms, and a heart that still remembers how it used to bleed. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment for more inspiring stories and content.